It's Wednesday, all eyes on Milton. We'll talk about our weather. We've got a cool down underway right now. We'll talk about that. There's not a lot going on other than the marine layer is deepened out quite a bit. We'll look at some live pictures and look at the forecast models for a chance potentially of a little bit of rain in kind of in the 8-10 day forecast range. So we'll look at that. This is Milton. It's a big storm. It is a Category 4 and it's making landfall tonight, and potentially it's a Category 4 and moving across the central part of the Florida Peninsula, meaning you're just grabbing all of many of the populated areas like Orlando and Tampa Bay and Sarasota. These are big population centers. A million people have evacuated. Countless others have boarded up and are getting ready for probably what is going to end up being a very historical storm. Number one, because it developed so quickly. I think it dropped 50 millibars, which is a pressure measurement, 50 millibars in like 12 hours, that's a lot. That's a lot. If it means it's a very powerful storm. This was yesterday. The storm is going to be about storm surge. The winds will be a thing. The rainfall will be a thing, but it's going to be storm surge because of this eastern or western side of Florida is low-lying, as you would expect, especially Tampa Bay. That's why Tampa Bay is getting a lot of attention because it's low-lying. It's an estuary of sorts, or it's an area where there's a lot of inlets. And so as the water rushes in, it can rise up, not unlike a tsunami wave coming into a harbor. So Tampa Bay now, the focus of the storm appears to be a little further south. Still going to hammer Tampa Bay, but it looks like the main storm surge may be 20 miles south of Tampa Bay, which will be helpful, the 15-foot storm surge. But Tampa Bay's still going to get spanked with 10 foot of storm surge, maybe even more. So it's bad. This whole thing is bad. It's Category 4 forecast here as it comes on shore. That is tonight at about 11 o'clock. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's a developing story. Again, storm surge is the thing. Here they have Tampa Bay at 8 to 12 foot storm surge. And again, at Tampa Bay, I've never been there actually, I just seen it on maps, but the water's going to come flushing in there, and then it gets pinched and narrowed, and when it does, it comes up even higher, right? And so it's we've seen it before in Santa Cruz Harbor during the tsunami years ago. A small wave came in, but as it got narrowed down and went into the harbor and got pinched into those little boat channels, it threw boats around, caused millions of dollars in damage in Santa Cruz Harbor. Okay, the other thing to note is the east side of Florida will have a storm surge as well as that moisture wraps back around. This is an equal opportunity destroyer, if you will. In other words, it's going to hit the central part of Florida, and everybody's going to feel it, to some extent as a hurricane, which is that's something to think about. I mean, usually these storms come on shore, right, and they fall apart really quickly, the friction of the land. So storms, when they get involved and start hitting topography and buildings and stuff, it actually starts to tear up and slow down the storm and slow down the wind speeds anyway. And so then it drops down to a tropical storm, and it's not quite as prolific. But in this case, it's going to be a hurricane across the peninsula. Here we are, 110 mile an hour winds in this area, which includes Tampa Bay, which includes Orlando, which includes Naples, Sarasota. Yeah, so a lot going on there. The story will be developing tonight. We'll take a closer look at it as we go into the newscast tonight, because that's when it'll be happening. So I hope if you have friends or family out there. I know Mike Meebach has family out there, but they evacuated, like everybody they evacuated, I think day before yesterday. That's how people knew to get out. Change hats. Now we're looking at our weather. Today's going to be nice. It's pretty noticeable how nice it is, right? Just cooler. Us getting over the heat. I mean, the heat's the thing. Especially, I'm getting old now, and so it's like I remember when your mom would say, "No, don't get overheated." When you're little, you're like, whatever. And now that I'm old, when it gets hot, I'm like, oh man, it's kind of slowing down. I'm kind of moving a little slower. So the heat is gone. I'm moving a little faster. The forecast for today, temperatures in the upper 80s, low 90s. Those are the hot spots. So pretty pretty darn nice day overall, and good air quality. The marine layer is stretched out, the cool air is pushed inland, and we're going to stay this way. The story of the next couple of days is this cooling trend that continues. Well, tomorrow will be even a little bit cooler, but this cooling trend that will continue into the weekend with this opportunity. I went big on the raindrops, more to emphasize that maybe, possibly, kind of could have, but won't rain. But this is maybe a drizzle event on Saturday. But what this is on Saturday, which I hope it is, seems to be potential, and you'll see it coming up here in a minute in the model, but there's something behind it. So this sort of pops the door a little bit, pops it open a little bit, and sets us up potentially for a more substantial event. So we shall see. Looking back at the hurricane, there it is, looping up as it heads towards Florida. This is about 9:30 on Wednesday morning for us. We will look now to California, and I love this shot. This is Mount Tamalpais. That is our friend the fog. Hello. And it is back. And it is, watch this morning. I love this, how this lights up. There's the sunrise, which I never see, by the way. Oh, my goodness. How deep do you think the marine layer is? How deep, right? So we're on top of Mount Tam, over 2,300 feet. Looks to me like it's around, looks like it's maybe around 1,800 feet. I'm just guessing based on that. You can see Montera Mountain over here, and then you can see, the cameras up on top of the lookout tower. So yeah, I'm guessing around 1,800 feet. So that's how it looked this morning, if you were up early. This is how it looks now, which is changing, but that's the marine layer as seen from Sutro Tower. And you see some high cirrus clouds too. That's an indication. When you see cirrus clouds, it's ice crystal clouds. These are clouds. This is cloud, most typical, but that's just water vapor. This, when it gets up high enough, it freezes, right? The water vapor freezes and turns into cirrus clouds. And cirrus clouds are always, not always, but often an indication that the weather's changing. And in fact, the weather is changing. Let's see what we got here. Okay, there's the satellite image. Look at that. And you can always get an idea of the marine layer depth from how much see the fog footprint there? That's pretty deep. It's all the way up in the North Bay too. So that's what we were just looking at. But now those first things we looked at were cameras on the ground, which you too can get your hands on. I think they're in my links. And then this is the visible satellite, which I think if I were you, I would bookmark this and have it always. But I plan my day based on this thing. You can look for smoke. You can look for rain. You can look for fog. Is it warm at the beach today? Not yet, but it looks like it's going to clear out. And then this is the profiler. We were kind of guessing as to the depth of the marine layer. And remember how this works? The marine layer it works from over here to the right. That is yesterday. And then this is more current time. And you can see this is Fort Ord. It's got which makes sense. It would be a little shallower than here because it's further south because we're closer to the low. It looks like it's around 1,800 feet, which is what I said. Okay, 1,700. But anyway, it's deeper. And that's a big difference from where we were just the other day. This is a live picture from Mount Diablo looking north. There's there's north right there, due north. So we're looking north, almost due north in the center of the screen. And you can see out towards Antioch, out this way, up into the Delta. Usually I can see the windmills, but I'm not seeing them right now. Things are dry. We need rain. It'd be nice to get some rain. Not seeing it until maybe Saturday. Some sprinkles, but then again, I'm gonna have that's a little teaser for the verticity, 500 millibar verticity map that's going to show us something encouraging in terms of maybe rain. I wanted to show you this. These are 24-hour temperature changes. Concord at this hour, 64 degrees. That's 8 degrees cooler. That's awesome. Livermore, 11 degrees cooler. So when you go, I use 24-hour change. It's pretty simple, right? Weather's all about trends. Temperatures are trending down. Well, you get a feel for, if Livermore this is really, I'm roughing it right now, but roughing this number. But let's say Livermore was 90, I can't remember what it was yesterday. Was it 90, 95? I can't remember. But that now I see they're 10 degrees cooler. I go, they're probably going to be around 87 degrees today. It's not an exact, but you can just glance at those numbers and go, everybody's running about 10 degrees cooler than they did yesterday inland. At the coast, it's about 5 degrees cooler. I know, it's a lot. Okay, so, and then here is our model. I'm going to roll up to Saturday. Okay, you can see where we are. I've drawn a circle around it. And right there, that's the chance for a few sprinkles. But it's also, look what's behind it. See that guy? I got that thing open up. So there's Saturday, maybe a sprinkle, hope, hope, hope. And then this guy right here, now we're into Monday of next week, Tuesday. Look at that thing deepen. I know it's kind of out there, but it's getting closer. And it does look like there's some potential for some deep troughing. So we'll see. So that would be the 17th of October would be Wednesday afternoon into Thursday. Again, that's a week away, but encouraging. And then that warms up. I'm just going way out now. Super fantasy land, but then a little something else. So with that, we have a hurricane to talk about, which is huge. We've got cooling temperatures, maybe a sprinkle Saturday, but probably not. But the deal with Saturday is it's going to open the door for, I think, what could come the following week on the following Wednesday or Thursday. So that's all I got for you today. There's a lot. I probably covered too much, but yeah, I'm sure you can click out whenever you want. Again, thank you for subscribing. I know there's a bunch of new people that subscribed. I appreciate that. And I'll try to make these as understandable. I said this yesterday. There's a tendency in my business to show everybody how much you know, and to be, because it's easy to, right? In your business, anybody's business, you can talk jargon and you can make people, feel like, oh, I could never understand that, right? Whether it's fixing a car, whether it's trimming a tree. I mean, it's a thing. In my whole childhood was all about, oh, you can never do that. I have information you can't possibly understand. My whole hope here is that this is stuff you'll kind of embrace, because once you understand, it's simple stuff. It really is. It's as complex as you want to be, but it's pretty simple. It's hot, cold. That's what weather is. If we start grasping these simple concepts, you will be blown away at what you can learn and how much you can access on the internet. Like you don't need your app. Those apps are stupid. You don't need me. I'm not stupid, but you don't need me. You can do a lot of this on your own and discover just some really interesting things about the world that you didn't know. There, I said it. Okay, I got to roll. I'll see you back here tomorrow.